let's get into trailer talk, Clayton, because we
Okay.
both watched the trailer that just dropped yesterday, dropped on Tuesday. The trailer for the upcoming Christmas time release from Warner Brothers, Wonka, starring
Mm-hmm.
Timothy Chalamet. It's from the director of Paddington. That's
Yep.
what the trailer said, but not the director of Paddington 2, I'm pretty sure. I think those movies had different directors. So I'm just going to
Um,
double check that right now. But
I feel like those both were the same guy.
I'll be checking that in the background, but I just watched this trailer and my first thought is that um I am I am curious, because this is a movie that they're hoping open. I think the opening they're looking for is like a 40 or $50 million and then just eat lots of Christmas time candy, just play through December and early January. And my thought right off the bat is I love Chalamet as a rising star. He famously wore the legendary hoodie on a live, and we can't state this more clearly, a live broadcast of Saturday Night Live, wore the
Mm-hmm.
legendary hoodie in support of legendary production company Dune against the HBO Max day and date. One of the most spectacular feats anyone's ever done on live television. So we love
Yep. Yep.
Chalamet.
Active
All
protest.
that's
It was an active protest.
yes. On
I
again,
mean, is it
live
close to
national
Sinead
television.
Fight the Real Enemy ripping up the Pope picture? Is it
Oh,
close?
it's up there for sure. It's
Yeah.
it's when SNL does the 50th, they've got to acknowledge both of those.
Mm-hmm.
And all that said, he's Wonka in this prequel to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And it pains me to say, watching the trailer, I don't know if Timothy Chalamet is going to be able to pull this off. I felt like, previously it's been Gene Wilder, it's been Johnny Depp, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Chalamet was the right person for this role. He seemed uncomfortable in this trailer in a way that I think could make ticket goers uncomfortable. So that's my big takeaway watching that trailer is he does not feel comfortable in that spot.
Yeah. I think there's a level to him that is, as much as he's like a teeny bopper idol, like a little kid, like little girls like him and stuff, but like adult women also really like him. He has a certain edge to him that, and I know, listen, Willy Wonka is a sociopath. He's a crazy person, right? So
Oh,
there's
yes.
supposed to be an element of that. But weirdly, I didn't get that in here. And I
Yep.
think it's because they're kidifying him in a way where he's, they want to make him Paddington. They want to make him
Yep.
more off kilter and fun than really a sick effer. And,
Yes.
he is a sick effer. And I mean, is this a Better Call Saul situation where you see how he becomes Saul?
Right.
Or is this
That's what it
just
feels like.
purely we're just going to make him lovable and eccentric and not have that edge? Because that's what that looks like in here. And I agree, he does not look comfortable in this part.
Yeah.
I just feel like this is not. He's going to be coming off of Dune 2, right? Dune 2 will have come out before this.
Yes. Yes. So,
And I think
which I,
that's gonna be massive, so
mm-hmm.
this is going to get probably interest because of that,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, from what I'm seeing here, it does not look good, but also, it is a kids' movie.
It is a
It is
kid's
not
movie.
for this is very much a kids' movie. It is not for me. I would not go see this film because it looks treacly in a way that I'm not interested in, even though I did enjoy the Paddington films very
Yes, and
much.
and confirmed, yes, that the director of Wonka is Paul Thomas King, who did direct both Paddingtons. So the
Yes,
Paddington,
Paddington, yeah, those
the
are his
first Paddington
auteur
that
movies.
yeah. So the first Paddington that everyone liked, and then the second Paddington that everyone loves, and which is the one I've seen, and I could confirm it is as great as the word on the street was. Yeah.
But here's the problem.
Okay.
It was a bomb.
The
The
Paddingtons were not
second
hits.
movie
Yeah.
underperformed. The first movie had a domestic haul of $76 million,
Mhm.
and then the second one, I think, only made 40.
Yeah, so that's not great. It's not great, for listen, the Paddington IP obviously is not as big theatrically as the Willy Wonka IP, so Wonka should be listen, Wonka has to be way bigger than Paddington. If Wonka ends up grossing 40 million domestic, then this is a giant disaster, and that's not gonna happen. You know, going back to something you said about that trailer, that is really what struck me as well, is that they really have softened the edges on this Wonka. The
Mhm,
Gene Wilder Wonka was completely psychotic. He was a murderer. He
mhm,
was, I think when that film ends, they end the film before the trial of Wonka begins because he
mhm.
was going to be put up on many charges. And the Johnny Depp, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, he's playing Wonka as Michael Jackson. So we
Yeah,
could
so
leave that there.
yeah,
Yeah.
let's leave it.
So, you've got Johnny Depp, Michael Jackson Wonka, you've got Gene Wilder up on charges Wonka. And in this trailer, there is no edge to Chalamet's Wonka, which I think is the reason he's uncomfortable because he
Yeah,
should play edgy Wonka. He should play sexy Wonka, which obviously you can't have in a kids movie, but that's
yeah,
Chalamet's whole thing.
mhm,
And I think he feels uncomfortable because of how sanitized this Wonka seems in this trailer. He is
yeah,
only like, the Wonk. And it also has the trailer gives me the vibes of a type of movie we've seen a lot of this year, which is the movie that is behind the scenes, the creation of the business we all love. The
mhm.
Air, the Blackberry, the Flamin' Hot
Cheetos, hot
Cheetos,
Cheetos.
Tetris, so on and so forth. And to me, this Wonka trailer reminds me of that type of movie, which is, hey, this is how Wonka created his famous chocolate factory that we all
Yeah,
shop at. And the thing is, I loved Air, and that did perform well, but not a huge
okay,
hit. None of those movies were big hits. Blackberry was great, but that was a indie movie that didn't break out.
yeah,
Flamin' Hot is a Streamo movie. Tetris is
mhm,
a Streamo movie that no one watched. So that style of movie, the hey, don't you love this product? Don't you love Wonka bars? Here's the real story of how Wonka bars began. I don't know if people love that type of movie.
no. I mean, we'll see, listen, we'll see once the Beanie Baby Bust movie comes out, how little people
Right.
actually like those sort of movies. That
Yeah.
may taint the water for any future sort of, "Hey, this product, wanna know the
Yeah.
history? Hey, this business, wanna know the history?"
Yeah. 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 I mean, as much as Chalamet is going to be riding high coming off of Dune when Wonka comes out, Wonka is going to have to contend with the failure, the inevitable failure of this Zach Galifianakis Beanie Babies movie, because that
Mhm.
might be the one that makes people violently against any
Yes.
kind of movie about the behind the scenes of how a product started.
Mhm.
That Zach Galifianakis Beanie Babies movie could cause people to be frothing at the mouth, furious when how the Wonka bars came to be movie comes out in December. So that's a
Mhm.
problem for Wonka that I don't think anyone's talking about is that Zach Galifianakis Beanie
We are.
Babies movie. We
We
are.
are.
Of course we are. Yeah, the other thing from the trailer is that I have heard Wonka is a musical, and this trailer did not in any way tell you that this is a musical, which of course makes me
Oh,
think
the
these
music
could
is
be some
bad.
rough musical scenes. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Or this could be a I'll Do Anything. Was that the film, the James L. Brooke film that had been a musical that they recut to not be a musical before they
I
released
think
it?
that's what yeah, yeah.
And
Where do you hear that
maybe
Wonka's a musical? Is that fact?
I have heard that out on the street. So I'm going to double check that right now. Don't hold. I mean, yeah. I mean, you just Google it right now. New movie
Movie
musical
musical.
Wonka. Yeah, first
Yeah.
trailer for Wonka musical film, and that trailer had no music. It had the imagination song as I just you hear the instrumental lightly in the background. You hear Hugh Grant as the Oompa Loompa start to play the Oompa Loompa song,
Yeah.
but there are no hints that Timothy Chalamet will be singing in this movie based on the
Wow.
trailer.
I mean, if you like the trailer for The Greatest Showman, which again, that's gonna be in the deathbed box office
Yes,
flashback.
100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's that run.
Yeah, we need
Th
to, Clayton, not get hit by a truck because we need to have proper time for our deathbeds.
Mhm.
If we get hit by a truck or, someone just slices our head off without us knowing it's coming, something like that, that's going to be such a disappointment because we'll have no time to reflect on Greatest Showman, My Big Fat Greek Wedding, There's Something About
Mhm.
Mary. We do need lengthy hospice stays so we could think of all these movies.
Yeah, hopefully it's death in very old age.
Yes, yes, definitely death in old age that takes long enough that we could think through, the top 20 or 30 box office stories of all time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But that that preview had music in it, right? I mean, they
Yes,
didn't
of course.
be like,
Yes.
"Here's a guy in a top hat talking to a bunch of circus folk." It
Right.
was, "Here are songs." And so the
Right.
fact that this one wasn't, "Here are songs," what are you hiding, Wonka?
What are you hiding?
Are the
What are you
songs
hiding?
even written yet?
Right. 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 I mean, it has to be because the WGA is on strike. So I would hope those songs are written and also recorded and edited by now because the movie comes out in December. It
Yeah,
it could be an I'll do anything situation. This
cut
movie
around it.
could be being the music could be being cut out. And listen, it would make the movie shorter, and that is I
Mhm.
think a thing that would help movies right now is if this came in at 98 minutes,
Oh,
or came in at Rob Schneider length and was like a 74-minute movie, I wouldn't hate that. Cut the music
no.
out and get it down to the hot chick length, you know?
More showings too.
Right.
Pack in those
Right.
showings.
But I do think hashtag Wonka, what are you hiding?
Mhm.
Because that trailer did not hint that this is a musical, and that to me feels like something is up.
Yeah.
Something is up.